Hello and welcome back to yet another interesting video on this channel. In today's video, we'll discuss lazy lock in Rust and why do we need it. The best way to understand lazy locks is not using some diagram or theory, instead trying to run into the problems which require or feel a need of something like that. So we'll exactly follow that approach. We'll try to run into the problems and understand, feel the need of it to better understand why do we even need something like that, or what then is lazy locks. Right here, we have a pretty simple and basic code which takes in a slice and checks if there is any number, and it just returns. Now if you run this code, it runs perfectly fine. The first slice has numbers 1, 2, 3. The second is just a world with no numbers, so it's correct. And you might see similar code on production as well. So the problem, if you pause for a second and think, with this code is right here. You are compiling this regex again and again as you work through this program. So every time you call contents number, these regex get built again and again and again. And since the regex is getting compiled again and again, it's basically waste of resources. So as a developer, we should fix it. And if you have been programming for some time now, in different other languages as well, your first line of defense would be, hey, maybe I can use static. That way, because it would be global static, so I can only compile the regex one and use it forever. But if you have been working with Rust, you know this won't work, because Rust requires your static values to be compile time constant, whereas regex we have new. So basically the value is constructed at the runtime, not the compile time. But statics in Rust require your values to be compile time constants. Then what can we do? And if you see the console, yes, the compiler did yell at you by not allowing you to use static, as it clearly mentioned it's non-const, but it's kind enough to give you the solution as well, as it says, consider wrapping this expression in LazyLock from the standard library. So we know that, okay, now we have something which is expensive, we need it, but we only want to compile or initialize it only once and use it throughout the program, throughout multiple threads. So we want something, and that exactly is lazy locks. And that's exactly what we do. So let's discuss the lazy lock solution first before we dive into behind the scenes of how lazy lock make this work. So right here, we still remain same. It's a static, and we have our regex here compiling, and we just wrap it in lazy lock. Contains number, just use the global static and then tries to check. Now let's run this program. As you can see, it just prints compiling regex only once because it's globally initialized, and then we can use it as many times as we want throughout the life of the program, and it will just compile only once and use always. The same program, if we run even across the threads, it's still thread safe as well. So when we run, as you can see right here, only once we see regex compiling, and then everything else we see is just checking contents number or not. So this is pretty much thread safe as well. Now let's look into behind the scenes of how lazy lock works. Actually, what we saw is pretty straightforward, and how lazy lock makes this happen with static is we have our main function which is trying to access our regex, and here re is basically our regex variable, and inside lazy lock call once to check if there is any value, or just run the closure to create the regex. In this example we had regex, but you can add any other initialization as well in lazy lock. And once the closure runs and you have some value, it's stored in your variable, which in our case is re, the static variable, and then all the next call just access the same variable stored statically. So it's pretty straightforward, and it's usually used for expensive initialization. So you only You only initialize when you need it and only do it once. For example, reading some expensive config or compiling some regex. It's also ideal for creating your DB connections or anything which is expensive and you want to only have it once and then use it. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys learned something new. If you do, like the video, share with your friends. I will catch you guys with another video in another interesting topic, and till then, bye bye.